So fucking bring it on. Tell me about your fucked up housemate.
His name was Marshall.
Such a shit name.
Yes. He went to Worlds for martial arts, would you believe? Marshall's name's Marshall. I used to laugh at that so hard.
Yeah. Marshall, the martial artist.
Oh, my God. What a tosser.
Yeah. Sounds like one.
Yeah. So I first moved in and he seemed okay. He was just so many levels of fucked. Like, he would...
How did you find this guy?
On Flatmates.
Okay.
Flatmates.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I knew it seemed too good to be true. It was.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had my own bathroom, but my bathroom was had the laundry and stuff in it, so he would use it, but he had an ensuite, so I had my own bathroom, kind of.
Okay.
The first night, I think I came back on a Friday night and he had drawn me a bath. And he was like, I hope you like baths. And I looked at him, I was like, no, and just pulled the plug.
Didn't it have like dead ants in the bottom of the bath?
Yeah, there was dead ants in the bottom of the bath.
That is like creepy shit, eh?
Yeah. There was a wine glass on the side. He was like, I put a wine glass there in case if you want to have a wine when you have a bath. But like the very first night that I moved in, like when my friend Nikki wasn't there and I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to have a shower and go to bed. He goes, well, lucky I removed the hidden cameras. I was like, you sick fuck. Like, I was like, that is
so like
gross.
he was like implying that there was like hidden cameras.
Yeah. And because when I moved in, I had to ask him to move out 2 single beds. So he used to like get little Asian exchange students to live in the room. And he was like, yeah, he was pretty much drunk or stoned the whole time, always asking me for rent in advance. And I'm like,
just psycho.
Oh, he was so psycho. And then he'd try and kick me out. I think he tried to kick me out the first weekend I was there.
Why?
No idea. He was like, no, I just can't deal with it. I thought that you were a good fit here, Bianca, but I just can't. I was like, I've lived here for 3 days.
Is it because I don't want to fuck you?
Yeah, pretty much. You gross little rat, beady-eyed fuck.
So, like, what's his history? Like, who is he?
He was in the army.
Of course.
So then he used to go to me. He was like, oh, do you know how to kill someone and they don't make a noise? And he'd like tell me.
What? He actually said that to you?
Yeah. He was like, you stab them in the throat and then you like shove it down and then you twist it and then all you can hear is gargling and they don't make a sound. I was like,
oh,
okay.
Whoa. That guy has killed people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He was fucked up in the head. And then when I used to like go away to like, come to the sunny coast for the weekend.
Yeah.
He would message me and I would never respond. And then he would start messaging himself, responding to himself in the message. Like,
oh my God.
He was cooked.
Like
and then
psycho.
I lived there for 2 weeks and then I moved out. And then like
was it only 2 weeks that you lived there?
It was only 2 weeks that I lived there.
Wow.
And like he smashed my phone. He did all kinds of
He did a bit of
shit.
martial arts in front of you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a fucking loser.
He was the biggest weirdo I think I've ever come across in my life.
It's really scary, hey? Like, and then you also think like, you know, you moved out. I wonder who moved in after you. You know what I mean? I wonder how many like housemates he goes through because you fucking lasted 2 weeks. You're pretty resilient too. But like, fuck me, like he must go through so many housemates.
Because like the guys, there was 2 younger guys that lived like floor up, and when I was moving in, they were like, "What house are you moving into?" And I was like, "Oh, number 14." And they were like, "Ooh." I was like, "What?"
Oh.
And they were like, "No, don't worry." And I was like,
"Oh
what?
No, tell me."
Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, like the little Asian girls that used to live there beforehand, they were just really scared of him, and he'd always try and crack onto them. So they used to come up to our unit until like he passed out, and then they'd go to bed." But yeah, he was full cooked.
Ugh.
He was mental.
You're pretty lucky, really. Like, I feel like in terms of like the fact that nothing worse happened.
Oh, I
feel like he's like the kind of person who would come in. He's the kind of person that would come in. He would like, I feel like he would like grow this obsession with you, and then he would like fucking murder you in your sleep.
He honestly
Bye-bye,
did
Diego.
grow an obsession with me. It was messed up. Like, it's like he
It's
thought...
like me.
It's like he
Me
thought
with
that
any
we
guy.
were together.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, I'm not your girlfriend. I rent a room off you. We are not together.
Yeah, that's like
And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, do you though? Because like you're treating me and like reacting to things that I do like I am your girlfriend.
yeah, that's fucking
Like,
sweet.
can you please leave me alone?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking psycho. I mean, I haven't had a housemate, so besides my family, they're pretty crazy though. Fuck.
And me every weekend.
Yeah, true. My friends are my housemates on the weekend. Fuck, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, they like honestly, I don't know because I think about that situation and I think, God, like what would I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
I don't know what you do either.
Because you know
to be
me,
honest.
like I'm so fucking delicate. Like I'd see cry. I'd be like, Mom, Dad, get me.
Come get me.
Yeah, like that
Yeah,
would just
no.
like, yeah. Whereas you're just like, fuck that cunt.
Yeah, he literally tried to screw me over as well. So he took all of my bond money. Like when I moved in, I paid $750 bond.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he tried to screw me out of my bond money.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did you do?
That's when I got like. That's when I'm like, I'm sorry, but like you may know martial arts.
With the wrong
You may
bitch.
know like how to kill someone, but I know how to get revenge. All right, like do not fuck with me, bitch.
Holy fuck! What a
It was
combination.
so funny. So yeah, I said to him, I said honestly, I said, don't mess with me. I said I'm keeping the house keys to this fucking unit. And he was like, you can't do that. And I said, mate, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I said, you have spent $750 of my money that I gave you for bond, which was not yours to spend. I said, and if you do not give me my money back,
Yeah.
I said, I will come to this house and I will sell all of your fucking shit.
That's so gangster.
And he was like, you can't do that. And I said, dude, I said, fucking watch me.
Yeah, watch me.
And I said, I don't give a fuck.
Look at me. I'm like, yeah, watch me. Like, I would never do that. I'd be like,
Oh.
okay.
And he was like, you can't do that. And I said, I fucking will. Like,
yeah.
I said, until I get the money that I am owed that I gave you in good faith, then you're screwed. Like, don't. Just
yeah,
don't.
so what'd you do?
I kept the keys. And then he finally paid me back.
Yeah, good.
And then he came to my work and he's like, can I please have the key back now? I was like, yes, because I never want to go. I never want to step foot in that fucking place ever again.
No,
All
I'm not doing that.
All right. What was your worst date, Mariah? Worst dates in history?
Well, look. Ay.
Ay.
I mean, I would love to talk about that one, but how I'd love to talk about it. So I think my worst date was with I was young. I was quite young, and I met this guy through the good old Facebook, Face Brags, and we messaged each other and he was like, let's meet up and go see a movie. And I was like, okay, all right, let's do that. I was probably only like 16, super shy, you know.
Little Mariah.
Awkward, so awkward, right? So we met up at the plaza and we're going to go see a movie together. And he rocked up. He was little ginger nut cookie.
Little gingerbread man.
Yeah.
This time of year.
I think he was shorter than me too.
That's always awkward. It's like,
Yeah, he's like, hey,
what?
hey there. Anyway, so
Gumdrop buttons.
it was so awkward. It was because like I was really shy back then. Maybe not so much now, but back then I was super, super shy, and he was even more shy than me. So it was just like this really like interesting
Odd combo.
combination. Like it was just like a combination that wasn't going to go down well, right? So we went to the movies, and he chose the movie. It was American Gangster.
Yeah.
Fun
Good
fact.
movie.
Yeah.
Not when you're that age though.
No, not at all. That's a fucking 3-hour long movie.
3 hours in awkward silence.
Legit. So we get to the movies and, you know, we're not like really talking or anything. We're kind of like little robots walking along
So
awkwardly.
cute.
And then we go to like where you get the food and we got a bottle of water each. Like no popcorn, nothing. Like I think we were too scared. Like we were too scared to eat in front of each other. We didn't want to be too outrageous. So we got water each, right? So healthy.
Who got the water first?
I think he did. And then I followed his lead because that's what I tend to do, right?
Yeah.
I think I do that now even. Like I'm just like, ooh, I feel like self-conscious. Anyway, so
I'm not going to get any popcorn.
I was like, fuck, I just wanted popcorn and soda at that age. Anyway, so we got our fucking Mount Franklin waters.
With the screw top. The screw top is the worst.
Yeah. Look, I wasn't, if it was you in that situation, you would have been like, so we go into the cinema and American Gangster, that's a fucking 3-hour long movie. Fucking 3-hour long, right?
What time did you go?
It was like the day, I have no idea, like probably lunchtime. And sitting there like this, like arms by our sides, like awkwardly terrified, absolutely terrified of each other.
God.
Like, God. And I felt like I didn't understand the movie. I was too young.
Yeah.
And it went for fucking 3 hours. Anyway, so the movie wraps up. We're like, oh, thank God. Like, in my mind, I'm like, thank fuck, this is over. Like, that was very painful. Because, like, the whole time in the movie, I wasn't even watching the movie. I was just overthinking about what was happening. Nothing's changed. Literally nothing's changed. I still do that. So, anyway, we see the movie, we leave, and then, you know, we're walking out, and it's time for us to leave, and he is like, all right, I'm going to go. And I'm like, okay, bye. Like, anyway, so I stand there because I see him walking. I'm like, fuck, he's walking in the same direction that I have to walk. So I'm just going to, like, let him go. I'll chill for a minute, and then I'll go, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he disappears, and I'm like, right, I need to go to the bus stop because I need to go home. I walk to the bus stop. He's sitting there at the bus stop. We make eye contact. We don't say anything to each other, though. We don't, like, it's like we pretend like we don't know each other. Like, we just went on a fucking 3-hour
random date.
Like, what are we doing?
A speechless date.
What are we doing? So we don't say anything to each other. And then he sits on, like, so the bench seats are like this, like, facing away from each other. And then he sits on one side, and then I sit on the other side. Just don't talk to each other, get on the buses and go home. So fucking awkward. Years later, I was in a pub, right?
Yeah.
And I was with friends, and we were sitting there, and I see this guy with red hair. And, like, I mean, I'm probably, like, I want to say, like, 22 at this time, maybe 23. And I'm looking at him going, fuck, he looks so familiar. Like, he just looks so familiar.
Was I there?
Nah, I don't know, maybe you were. You probably were. So you probably were there. Anyway, so I was sitting there and he came over and he goes, you look so familiar. And as soon as he came over, I was like, fuck, I know who you are. And then he comes over and he goes, and I said, look, I think I do remember you. I said, I think we went on a date when we were like 16. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, yes. And then we kind of just like laughed about like how awkward it was.
At least he got like his confidence though.
Yeah.
To come over and be like, I think that I know you.
Yeah. And we fucking laughed so hard about it.
That's
because
really
it was, like,
funny.
It was really funny because I felt like he was like, he basically had the exact same, like all the feelings that he was feeling inside, like being scared and shy. Like that's exactly
how you were
how I was feeling. And he was like, yeah, this is how I felt. And I was like, oh my God, just so funny, right?
Oh, that's
hilarious.
So...
Now, what was your worst date?
I've had a lot.
Yeah.
I've had quite a few.
Didn't you used to like go on like Tinder dates to feed yourself?
I used to go on Tinder dates for free food. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy and I love that. I actually love that a little bit.
Living in Brisbane on like a minimum wage with like high rent, with car payments to pay,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I get to meet a new guy every night. And then, yeah, it was fun. Instead of ordering Uber Eats, I just order a dude and get eat.
That sounds so economical. Hey, I think you should like go back to that and like with this fucking inflation at the moment.
I know, seriously. All right, everyone get on their Tinder. I find it hilarious.
It is.
Because I was like young and I was just like, I'd been scorned by my ex and I was like, fuck this, I'm going to fuck over every dude.
Yeah.
So I did.
So what was your worst date then?
No, wait.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my
I'm so
god.
excited
Oh
already.
my god. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was talking to this professional golf player
Oh, what? Okay.
on Tinder.
When was this?
Oh, this was like still when I lived in Brisbane.
Okay. All right.
Same house
All right.
after the crazy Marshall.
Yeah.
And we were talking for ages. Like we got along really, really well. And then I was having drinks at my house one night and I was just like, oh yeah, just come over. Like my housemates will be home soon. We'll have drinks, blah, blah, blah. He knocked on the door and I opened up the door and I was like, I'm a short person.
Was he really short?
He was like up to here.
Oh dear Lord.
And I was like, oh.
God.
He was like, he
would've
was
had to
probably
be-
like here
Yeah,
or like my
that's
nose height.
fucking tiny.
Because I remember opening my door and I was like, hello. Hello down there. So I was like, and he was literally at my front door. I was kind of like in a really bad situation because I didn't know whether to slam the door and just lock it or kind of like, so I was like, oh shit. Like I've invited this guy over. So he came in, we were just sitting out back having drinks. Like my housemate came home with a bunch of his friends. I was like, thank fuck you're here.
Yeah, like a bit of a
So
buffer,
then like
yeah.
I abandoned him outside thinking that if I just abandoned him.
like in
and
your
didn't-
courtyard kind of thing.
Yeah. So I was thinking if I just abandoned
He'll
him
make friends with them.
and didn't talk to him, then he'd kind of get awkward and just leave.
Like get the memo, yeah.
Get the memo to
yeah.
get the fuck out. Didn't happen. So I was still in like
Fuck. He's like, this chick's so cool. She's like introducing me to her friend.
Yeah,
He's like
no.
vibing it. And
No.
you're like, get the fuck out.
So then I was in the kitchen like with my housemates and his friends. And then he like pops up beside me. I was like, oh, you're still here. And
Did you actually say that?
Yeah. And he was like, why, do you want me to go? And I was like, up to you.
Oh, yeah. It's like
And
a
he
very
was just
clear,
like,
I want you to fucking
Yeah,
leave.
you're still here. Like,
Yeah, like,
why? What are you
Why
still
would you
doing
even
here?
ask? Like, yeah, just go. Yeah. Okay.
I know. I was like, just walk out, please.
Weird how like when people can't read the situation.
Read the room?
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
weird. I find that strange.
Because, like, I'm pretty sure he was sitting outside by himself for a solid hour and we were all in the kitchen.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, oh my god, that's pretty fucking.
And then I think he tried to talk to me afterwards as well. And I was like, look, dude, like, no offense, but I was like,
You're just too short.
I was
mate.
like, I'm not dating a dude that's smaller than me. Like, I'm already small.
You're tiny.
Like, I'm already a fucking tiny person. I don't need.
Yeah.
I need to wear heels to look taller. Like, you can't do shit.
Yeah. He just comes next time with his fucking platforms on.
He's on like the stilts
On
that like you. Yeah.
Love me. Look, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I do have like a lot of empathy for like really short guys because it must be
I feel
so
really
hard.
sorry for them.
It's like it's kind of like the equivalent to like really extremely tall girls. Like that must be
Mhm.
hard as well. Like I don't know. Like who are you dating when you're a really short guy? I've never really dated anyone that's like way taller than me though. Like
I
all
have.
the guys that have like I've dated have been like maybe like that much taller than me.
Oh yeah, I've dated some
But
guys
you're
that are a lot
short.
taller than me.
Yeah, I know. You're like up to their waist. You're like the fucking Shaq. Have you ever seen Shaq and his girlfriend and his wife?
No. Oh yes. Wait. I think we looked at this the other
like,
day.
That's like you with any
Yeah.
guy.
Not any guy.
No, but like
not,
you know.
not golf guy. Come on.
No, yeah, fucking true. What was your near-death experience?
In Sydney, when I lived in Sydney,
Yeah.
I was leaving work and it was nighttime. There was 2 lanes and there was a huge truck, right?
Yeah.
And it was dark. I had my lights on, but my car is like charcoal. So
Yeah.
it's like harder to see, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like my car was here
Yeah.
and the truck was like just in front of me and he put on his indicator and like started like, and then there was like restaurants and hedges all there. And I was like,
Oof.
is this motherfucker for real? And then like he just kept merging and then I was just like, oh my God, slammed on my brakes, fucking beat my horn, all of his tires locked up. Like,
Oh,
and I was just sitting in the car just like,
hun,
the
that's
next
so
day it
scary.
happened again.
Really?
Sydney drivers are fucked.
You know,
They just literally put on their indicator and think, oh yeah, I'm cool. They'll just wait for me.
you know what blows my
They're
mind?
horrible.
Right? You know what blows my mind, especially with like the trucks, like because like I used to work with a girl whose partner was a truck driver, and she said like that they have so many blind spots, and she told me like the different points of like when there's like a really long truck of like where you're blinded to. But you would think that with the technology that we
I
have
was about
today,
to say, yeah, wouldn't they have like little cameras that they could be able to see them instead of just one fucking measly mirror?
I know, you would think.
Are you joking?
In this day and age, they would have
In my
cameras.
car, I have blind spots. Imagine a car that size.
That's what I'm saying. So she was like kind of telling me the different points on the truck were the blinds. And I was like, it creeped me out. I was like, oh, now when I drive past the truck, I'm like, I try to get past it so fucking quick. Because I'm like, blind spots,
like
blind
I
spots.
will either slow down.
Yeah.
Or I will literally gun it past them.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, one time I was driving home from work and there was this guy on this motorbike and it was like one of those like a Harley. It was like a Harley and the wheels were like really fat. It was so
A
gross.
Ducati. No, it wasn't a Ducati. It was a Harley.
It was a Harley, right? And he was like flooring it in front of me and I was like just driving along. Like we're in 100 zone, right?
Mm.
He pulls over into like one of those stopping bays.
Yeah.
I'm still going 100 clicks thinking, you know, I'm just going to pass him, right? He literally comes out, doesn't indicate nothing in front of me, like in the last second. I like just, my foot felt like it was going to go through the fucking floor of my car. I slammed my brakes on that hard. Like, honestly, I thought I was going to, like, it was so scary because I thought I was going to.
With a motorcyclist as well.
I thought I was going to kill this guy. He had no helmet on, nothing. Like, he was.
What?
He was like a thug, right? Like, he was.
Thug life.
He was like dodgy, like definitely a drug dealer.
Definitely
right?
a stain on this earth.
And then I instantly look in my rear vision mirror. The car in front of me is like this old fucking boxy laser car, right? And the smoke.
Do you mean behind?
Yeah, behind me. And they've slammed on their brakes. Their car, they were losing control of their car and there was smoke coming out of their car. I was like so fucking traumatized. I got home and I like told my family and my brother was like, that is fucking, he goes, that guy that did that is roadkill. Like he will end up dead and don't, because I was so upset about it. I was like, I felt like I nearly killed someone because it was that fucking close, you know, and that like distressed me. I was like, wow, I literally could have killed someone. Not my fault, but you know, the fact that he fucking was just,
did that.
He was an idiot. And then I would have to like,
you would have to live with the guilt
of that, you know, like I would have to live with that. Well, the way that I nearly died was I was drinking with friends and we had finished up at a house party and we were standing on the side of like a really busy road. I think it was 100 zone, right? So people were going 100 clicks along this road and we were standing out the front of this service station and obviously I'm very animated and I love to like, you know, move around and talk. And we were standing there and I was kind of had my back to the road and I was talking to my friends and I was like going blah, blah, blah. And I must have been walking backwards when I said it. And literally there was a car and the edge of their side mirror clipped my back and they were going 100 clicks. And everyone ran up to me and was like, holy fuck, like you nearly just got fucking wiped out by a car, bitch. And I was just like,
where was this?
Maybe I'm roadkill.
No.
This was when
You're
I was like,
roadkill, baby.
Yeah, well.
You're my roadkill.
I nearly fucking was. I nearly was. But like, I just remember, like, I didn't actually see it happening. I felt it happening. And then when everyone told me what happened, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking scary.
Do you remember it? One of the underage
dance parties?
Yeah.
And a chick.
When a girl from our school got hit by a bus.
She literally got yeeted by a bus. Like, no, what happened was, I remember, she showed the fucking good old sun bus. Or what was like, they had like so it was like underage dance parties and they had the buses that would come pick you up.
The sun buses for free, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a sun bus for free, right? And the bus came and she was pretty messed up and she just like fucking wasn't standing in the right spot, I guess. And the corner of the bus clipped her and she fucking went pew into the air.
Like a little rag doll.
Yeah, poor thing.
Oh, I can't believe she was at school that week too. I was like, you just got I was like, you just got yeeted across the street.
She's a fucking trooper, right? She's fucking resilient. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching Delicate But Deadly. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. All right, we out, motherfucker.
Peace out, bitch.